So we've learned about telling time, where the longhand represents the minutes and the shorthand represents the hour. So on the clock that we have showing here, it's showing us the shorthand pointing to the 10, so representing 10 o'clock, and the longhand pointing to the 3, which we know if we count by fives, we get 5, 10, 15 minutes. So our time that's displayed on the clock right now is actually showing us 10:15. And if we write that in just digits, it will look like this. But what if we want to say it a different way? How are we going to change this to make it sound differently or look differently for common speech, how people say it on an everyday basis? Well, the first thing that we need to know is that our clock can be divided into different sections. First, we can divide it in half, straight down through the middle. We can do the same thing again from side to side, right from the 9 across to our 3. Each of these pieces, if we think about a fraction, there are 4 pieces, so each is 1/4, or also known as a quarter. So this first piece, up until it hits the 3 here for the 15 minutes, these first 15 minutes are the first quarter of the hour. So when our minute hand is pointing directly at the 3, we can read it as being 10:15, or we could also say it's a quarter after 10. So if we write that, this is what it would look like. Quarter after 10. It's a more common way of saying the time 10:15. In everyday speech, we would say it's quarter after 10. Also, if we're thinking about the absolute opposite side, across from our 3, and I'll fill in this part just to show where the other quarter goes. Again, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. But now our minute hand is pointing toward the 9 in the final quarter of our clock before it switches from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. When we would show this on the time, it would actually say 10:45. Commonly, people usually represent this in a different way. We say we have 15 minutes before it's going to change from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, and that last 15 minutes is the last quarter before it's changing to 11 o'clock. So it's 15 minutes before 11, and we represent that by saying it's quarter to 11, meaning it's 15 minutes left before 11 o'clock. There's one final way that we often represent time on a clock using different wording, such as quarter after or quarter to, and that's using half past. If I move my minute hand and I put it all the way down on the 6, you'll see that this represents half of my clock if I go straight up and down from the 12 to the 6. This represents the first 30 minutes of the hour, where this side represents the last 30 minutes of the hour. If my hand for the minute is directly pointing at the 6, that means I've already gone through the first 30 minutes of my hour. So that is actually half of my hour. If I want to represent this time, 10:30, in common language, I would say it as it is halfway or half past 10. So this one is half past 10. Those are just 3 quick, easy ways for us to represent time with common language instead of always saying the specific digits of our time. Hope that's helped.